Disclaimer. Knomsai Radio does not necessarily care about views, opinions, convictions, organizations, or being offended. The content of this show is a reasonable effort to be factually accurate. No responsibility is assumed for editorial or clerical errors, or error occasioned by honest mistake. All information contained on this show is subject to change by the appropriate officials of Knomsai without prior notice. Material on Knomsai does not serve as a contract between Knomsai and any other party. Get pumped, crack a beer, and enjoy the show. Biatch!
You are now listening to the Knomsai Radio Network.
Knomsai, St. Petersburg, Florida, Tampa Bay, Gators. Knomsai, Lubbock, Texas, Tampa Bay, Freedom, Pasadena, Maryland, Tampa Bay, barely already.
Freedom of speech at its finest.
Listen.
Welcome to show 81 of Knomsai Radio.
Knomsai. Why? Because I'm Richard Lack. That's why.
Well, cool.
And this is Ricky Gibson to my right. Welcome into show 81, Knomsai Radio.
Well, thank you for
to my
welcoming.
left, I got Dr. Sally, our local correspondent. And to his left, we got Ben Button, our political correspondent. Right now, well, wait a second. We got Chick Babies, too.
Yeah.
CB1 and CB2, if you remember from last week's show. And not to forget, Mr. Namjirian, Hanging Penis Eyes, and Hank the Lizard, and Miss Pussy is laying around. Oh, is with CB2.
She's KIA, dude. She's deflated.
What's KIA?
Killed in action.
Oh,
man.
I thought it was MIA.
No, that's missing in action.
Oh, okay.
That's like Chuck Norris, dude, when he goes out to Vietnam by himself and beats the shit out of every Vietnamese person.
Well, let's hammer
America.
Let's hammer out the drinking commands real quick, and then we'll get into our guest, Matthew Mills, the journalist. I don't know. We can talk about it a little bit more, but let's do the drinking commands real quick.
What are the drink commands? I remember it's Harold Ramis.
Yeah, the guy that just died from Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, yeah.
Great man.
R.I.P.
Oh, man.
Bustin' makes me feel good. That's in that song.
We did that shit.
I don't want to get too Knomsai too quick, but we talked about not giving a shit about celebrities dying not too long ago, and we just lost Philip Seymour Hoffman and Harold Ramis.
Yeah, two good ones.
Yeah.
I don't think Ben wished them
What
dead.
was the trifecta on that?
I don't know.
I think Paul Walker.
Was
But
it-
no, because I think it's like
Who started it?
We need like Marlon Brando to die too, dude. That'd be
don't
like
say that.
people be like, "Oh man,
Don't say that.
very amazing.
three legends gone."
I just saw a post on Facebook about Gene Hackman, so maybe there's some
Gene Hackman is
foreshadowing there.
still alive.
All right, so Harold
Yeah.
Ramis. What's the next one?
What's the other? Ice Cold Teas are sponsors.
Perfect.
What the fuck was the other one?
Skype. We have Skype capabilities now. If you want to log into Skype through yours or whatever, nobody's going to call us.
Yeah.
And
What else?
if you do, call 565 or 727-565-2154.
And then what is the other one? What you wrote them down? What did you write? Did you post it on Facebook?
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
the first one was
We don't
Snake
know.
Break.
Snake Break. 'Cause
Snake
we're bringing
Break's
that
one of
back
them.
from the old ones.
And
Did you even tag me in it?
probably not.
All right.
There they
oh,
are.
there it is. Okay, so it's Dwight Power, Snake Break.
Dwight Power.
Yeah, Dwight Power. Ice Cold Teas, Skype, and then Harold Ramis.
Okay, and now let's get into our guest, Matthew Mills. Do we have the?
I have the clip. I'm loading it
have the
right now.
clip.
I'm gonna play it in like 2 seconds.
Okay, so we're gonna play this clip. This is what he kind of got famous for. This isn't what we're really gonna be talking about all night tonight. Like that's not the reason we have him on the show. This is just kind of like what brought him to the national attention. So check this out. This is during the Super Bowl MVP speech, and we'll talk about it a little bit more whenever he comes on.
Making great plays, but you never think about being MVP.
Investigate 9/11. 9/11 was perpetrated by people within our own government.
Okay.
Boom, and then out like a gangster.
Right.
Oh, is everybody okay?
Yeah.
Everybody all right?
Is everybody fine? Some guy just went up on the podium and
All right.
freedom of speech at its finest,
Yeah.
like Knomsai Radio.
Yeah, he
would-
Knomsai'd the shit out of that Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
He KIP'd, hashtag KIP, Knomsai in public. So, Matt Mills, can you hear us, buddy?
Yes, I can. It's a little bit choppy, but I can hear you.
Okay, well, as long as you can hear us and we can hear you, we can do this interview pretty well.
Okay.
So explain to us a little bit about what happened that day as far as, everybody kind of wakes up, they brush their teeth, they take a dump, they make some coffee or something. Tell us a little bit about that morning. What kind of led you to do this? Was it something that you were determined to do pre-handedly, or was it just kind of something off the fly, or what?
No, it's just the Super Bowl was in town. It was a real big deal here in New York. There's everything Super Bowl. There's NFL players signing autographs all over the place. So it's like a big event. It was like a 2-week-long event. It was like a big deal here.
Right.
So
Right.
I was like, pretty much like, I'm thinking about going down to the Super Bowl since it's like here. I mean, why not just go down to the parking lot and just like whatever? And I was going to interview people because this is the kind of shit I do. Like
True.
interview people and do political shit like this.
Well,
So
you are a journalist, right? Is that what you went to school for?
Yeah, no, it's not what I went to school for. It's something I've been doing for a couple of years now, just online, video type stuff. Pretty simple stuff, really.
So pretty much Knomsai with it in your journalism style.
Say that again?
I said you're
the Knomsai version, New York branch.
yeah.
I didn't really catch that, but
You got to say it into both, Mike. Both.
You're the New York branch of Knomsai Radio.
I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is. Actually.
Anyways, so
was that a joke? Or was that over my head? Sorry.
no, we're basically just saying like that's kind of how we got started. We were just kind of like,
That's your radio show. Sorry.
Right.
It's all right.
That's cool.
You know what radio show you're on right now?
no.
Yeah.
So anyways, you kind of got a wild hair up your ass. You said, I'm going to start, interviewing people on the streets and getting different opinions on stuff. I read a little bit on your bio, and it said that how, you were a firm believer. You're basically a truth movement activist in your journalism style. So you basically went out and pretty much throughout, anything that you do, you're just basically looking for the truth, whether it be about 9/11, our own government. I don't even want to use the word conspiracy theory,
UFOs.
but I mean, it could be anything,
No,
right?
I don't really shy away from that word. I mean, that's what it is. Conspiracies happen all the time. It's not really something to be ashamed of.
True.
But yeah, you're right. That's kind of the shit I do, just stuff like that. And so I went there, and I just ended up getting in. So it was just.
How'd you get in? Did you make yourself a fake badge or what?
No, this is the cool thing. This is why I don't see. I go to court in March. I don't want to get into the legal shit because my lawyer doesn't want me to talk about it.
Yeah,
but
it's understandable.
basically, they can't really do anything. Like, they let me in. I didn't hop a fence.
Right.
They let me waltz right in. So, like, my argument kind of is like, how do I know it's not free? It's a public event. I don't know. That's kind of like, obviously it's not that, but that's kind of. I don't think I'm in trouble. So no, I literally waltzed in. I just said like, well, I had this pass, and I just said I was late for work. Obviously, I don't know if you've heard the story, but it's really not. You know, it wasn't. That's pretty much it.
Refresh us for everybody who's
Yeah,
listening.
I kind of talked about the story a little bit last week, but I wanted to hear it firsthand from you because I had no idea exactly what happened. I was just kind of, I read that interview that you had done with Tom Brokaw where you said you just kind of, you kept saying, yeah, I'm late for work, and all those dumbasses were like, oh yeah, go right in.
Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's.
And technically, speaking as your lawyer, Knomsai lawyer, if you were late for work because of what your freelance capabilities are being, you were set on a mission to do something. I'm late for work. This guy is making this speech. I need to get there so I can say what I need to say.
Yeah, and I really don't think. I mean, NFL is a real powerful organization, and
True that.
they weren't happy about this. So all that, I'm saying, like, legally, I don't think there's really anything. I don't think I'm going to get in trouble is what I'm saying.
No, you'll be all
and
right.
what I'm saying, like, people have asked me since this happened, like, how'd you get in? And it's so crazy, but it's really, like, it was just, you've all snuck into something.
Yeah,
You
that
just
is
fucking
true.
sneak in. You just, I don't know, I got
just go
real
flash your
lucky.
badge
I
and run.
got real lucky, basically.
I fucking snuck out of my mom's puss like a gangster. Just real
Wait.
easy.
So where are you guys? Where do you guys all live? Like, where are you guys from?
Originally, I'm from Lubbock, Texas, but
We're all in St. Pete, Florida right
we're
now.
in St. Pete, Florida right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So that day you took a dump and you said I'm going to do this, and it happened, and now you're dealing with the after effects.
Once I got to the stadium, where I only had to get into the stadium, I got through 3 gates, and once I was like standing there at the stadium, and I only have to go through the one little stairs to go up the escalator in, like, 20 feet from, like, the area right by the stadium. I was like, you know what? Since I'm here and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get into the Super Bowl, I think I'm going to try to run on the field. Like, it's something I've always wanted to do, like at a baseball game or something like that. You get arrested and all this, but if it's a big game, like, people see you and it'd be cool. But I also was, like, totally there the whole entire time asking people serious questions on the upper deck the entire time. So I was there in serious mode. I'm paying attention to the game, and it's fun, but I was also in real, I was working the entire time. I wasn't, like, relaxing. So when I went down there, I was just working the entire time. Really, I was figuring out a way to get down on the field so I can go do it. And I saw this thing, and I went in there, and I'm like, I'm definitely going to stay in here. This is definitely where it's going down.
Yeah,
nice.
And then I was standing there, like, I just got this really good spot, and I was going to ask a question, and I was like, believe it or not, like, I was really, really nervous, and I just fucking did it,
Hey man, you just gotta go for it sometimes.
Yeah. So Matt, this is Ben.
What's up, man?
Actually,
you're a grade below me, right? Or you were?
Yeah, I was a grade below you.
Yeah.
Moved out of there when I was like a sophomore or whatever. Moved all the way across the country, but I thought it was funny.
Where'd you move to?
Out to Spokane, Washington, middle of fucking nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice
cool.
place.
But yeah, so after I saw all this, I didn't really know about it until the next day, and I started seeing all these Facebook feeds and shit, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I'm pretty sure I know that guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, the question I want to ask you, I mean, you said at the podium there, you're like, 9/11 was an inside job, was perpetrated by people within our own government. Do you want to elaborate on that as far as what you mean by perpetrated by people within our own government? Because I was thinking earlier, the Vietnam War, the Gulf of Tonkin incident is pretty much what got us involved in that, where we got most of our troops on the ground. 55,000 people died because of what turns out 40, 50 years later to be a total hoax. I mean,
right. Well, governments have never been good, so there's no reason you should trust ours now. And they lied about everything. Not 9/11. So the whole thing was a cover-up. And you don't want to go into inside job. They let it happen, or maybe they were just incompetent. At least the least they were was incompetent that day, and they want to cover that up.
Yeah.
So they stalled the investigation for 400+ days. They didn't testify under oath. They testified together. That's against the rules. No one knows what happened. It was just a room. I guess they just told the official story to some guys. Then the 9/11 Commission was set up to fail, half those guys don't think it was sufficient. And we know commissions. We know the Warren Commission. That was bullshit. We know what happened with Kennedy.
Yep.
Okay, and then you have just like little things, and when you're kind of in this, do what we do, we pick up on this. But like, okay, the passport was found out there by a 30-year-old guy in a business suit that somehow made it to a FBI agent. Okay, well, okay. The black boxes, a couple of them didn't survive. All these are okay, but when it's put together with all these other things, there's not, it's the government was complicit at least, and there was never an investigation, and I will just always. That's really, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, I agree with you for the most part. I mean, especially if you think about it, I was talking to my brother about this a couple days ago. We were talking about how that plane that crashed in Pennsylvania, they'll just have everybody believe that this plane just fucking vaporized, but yet they're finding intact licenses, 3 miles away, like what you're talking about. It's like,
yeah.
How the fuck do you expect me to believe that? And then on top of that, I mean, what do you know about what NORAD was doing that day? Because I've heard.
Well, NORAD, and then the thing that ties it all together for me is what there was people in the streets rioting because they were happy, and I wish people rioting in the opposite way, because when Bin Laden was killed and he was dumped in the ocean within a day, within 24 hours, it's such an insult to my intelligence, because I've been following the story for years, and I didn't know what was going on with one, and then we heard that he was killed, and then I heard he was dumped in the ocean, and it really just pissed me off. So Bin Laden is what brought me out of the closet as a political activist. So before Bin Laden was buried in the sea, I wasn't doing any of it. So I'm still I've only been doing this since 2011, 3 years. So when that happened, I walked up and down the street in Midtown Manhattan, right outside of my work, for about an hour and a half talking to my friend Matt Metz. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know Matt Metz.
Okay. Yeah, so I was talking to him for about an hour and a half when I found out. After that was it for me. I started doing this, and I'm really much happier for it. And I'm just doing good things now, really, and my life is actually better now because of it, believe it or not.
Well, Eminem, you talk about coming out of the closet. Is it okay if I call you Eminem?
You can call me, those are my initials.
Right. M's.
Actually, my initials are MSM, like mainstream media.
Okay, they're
carry
even better.
on.
Someday that will come to premonition, I'm sure, if you stay on this path of righteousness and truth and facts. But you talked about coming out of the closet. I think the thing that really did it for me about 9/11 was when they started talking about World Trade Center Building 7 going down the way it did. And at first I was like, well, maybe the conspiracy theorists are like, the buildings did come in a demolition style type thing. And then, I went back and forth on that. I was like, nah, our government would never do that. Like, we have the best thing going. And then the Building 7 really turned me into, a true seeker as such as yourself. And I really, that's what got me out of the closet and really got me looking at things. And then you look at what Hitler did back in the day, and you find out that Prescott Bush was involved and everything. I mean, there's tons of documentaries about it, even on Netflix. Right. So it's it's all about informing yourself. And I just want to say right now that I appreciate what you did, man. I think it can open up a lot of doors for some facts to be thrown around.
Well, you say
something.
Well,
I definitely appreciate that. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Like, you just said something about Hitler, and isn't that what led to the Nazis kind of starting war with the rest of Europe? Was they burnt one of their own buildings in
Berlin?
The Reichstag, dude.
That's what I'm talking about.
They point
exactly.
to well, something, Matt, I wanted to ask you. You said that you made a statement earlier that I say all the time. I mean, when you said governments have a history of being bad, what makes people think that our government's going to be any better? Well, now that you're doing what you're doing, I mean, what do you find as far as the arguments against that out there when you talk to people and you say, hey, listen, governments are notoriously shitty? Because when I say some shit like that to people, I usually get like, well, why? I mean, this is America. Why would our government ever do that? Or like, nah, dude, that'll never happen. I mean, do you get a lot of stuff like that?
I try not to get into like philosophical arguments with people because it's so hard to bring people to your paradigm. Like I'm actually at this point, like a libertarian anarchist, and that's how I see the world. That makes the most sense to me at this point. And like other people that don't understand that philosophy, they don't understand that philosophy. They don't understand the non-aggression principle. So when you're trying to argue with them about government, they're not. I don't know. You can't hit them all. Like I really try to stay out of. Actually, the girl I'm seeing right now is really not libertarian at all. She really isn't, and she's not really into politics. I've only been seeing her maybe 5 months now, but like
no girl is
I
not one.
I don't get into politics with her, and I stay out of politics really with. Actually, when everybody saw me, like people from my past, I got so many texts, and like they didn't know I was into politics. I never talked about politics. This is like my passion when I go out, when I do journalistic shit, like. I'm real in your face, like if I like confronting, because I am very mad about shit, and like I'll take it out on like something like that. So I am very passionate about this, like my whole life actually. This is like really pretty much what I do. I do basically 3 things. I have family, friends, and I work, and then I do this. It's like basically 3 things.
That's 4 though.
So, yeah. Well, yeah.
I was just counting.
But,
you said what's
either
way.
So. Well, yeah, I forget what we were talking about.
Well, so let's move beyond 9/11 and look at where our country's heading right now. If we want to go that route, I know we should probably cut and go to a song or something, but that can wait.
Yeah, just keep going.
I feel like the interview is going very well. What is your standpoint on, let's say, Obamacare?
Well, I don't really like any big thing from the government because I'm such a libertarian. So right there, I don't know much about it, but neither does anybody else. I think it's 7,000 pages or something. Even Obamacare supporters don't know what it is. So nobody knows what it is, and we'll find out what it is because we all have to comply. So I'm not for Obamacare.
Did you see the propaganda machine saying that, or it was some article, man, I can't even reference it, which is totally bad and not very libertarian, but I did see something on Facebook about how the left wing posted something about the right wing, of course, and I don't even like to get into this, but that's usually that's the MO, of course. And they were saying all the anti-Obama stuff is just propaganda. Obamacare is fine. Everybody should get into it and love it. And then I posted a video on Knomsai's Facebook page the other day, 36 times where Obama said that you could keep your health care plan. 36 different times. And that's not the case these days. Like, I know guys that have $200,000 plus annual salary a year, and they've been on health care benefit, or you know what I mean, they have health care through their companies and stuff like that, and these guys are rich guys, right? Or not, maybe not millionaires, but they're right up there. I mean, they can do whatever the fuck they want to do, basically, but they can't even keep their own health care plan, and they've been with these companies.
What it comes down to really, definitely,
right.
Keep going, I'm sorry.
No, it was a good point. It was a good point to cut me off right there. I don't know, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, like, it's just their excuse to use government to force their morals on someone. Like, they're using government to take money out of your pocket because they think you're too stupid and you don't want to help the people, so they're going to take money out of your pocket because they have some grand scheme that someone came up with that no one ever did because they're ideologues. They pass things before they know how to do it because they're ideologues. It's Washington, D.C. So Obama, I don't, who knows who Obama is, but Obama wants to pass it because he feels that this is right, but then when it comes time from the website and it actually, it's a different ballgame. So
right.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, have you heard anything up there about the special election going on down here?
Special election? No.
Yeah, the congressional election. We have a libertarian candidate running.
I think probably.
Overby.
I think I did hear about that actually.
So, what do you know about Lucas Overby? Have you heard anything about Lucas Overby?
No, I don't. I haven't heard anything about it.
Good man.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he's a guy we've been following him for a little while. We got his back for sure. He's a libertarian in our community. That he's 27 years old.
Cool.
He's going up against a Republican and a Democrat that are both
huge faggots, both of them.
Huge CBS. Huge CBS.
Yeah, you can't say that about Alex.
And like Alex Sink, dude, she's not even from here. She fucking bought a condo, and she's using the left wing money to get her by. And you see commercials on YouTube. I mean, the commercials are everywhere except for this libertarian guy, but it's all we can talk about. So I mean,
Right.
I guess where I'm headed with this is how long is it going to take where libertarians are considered to be, actual thing? Like I know Gary Johnson did it, and Ron Paul's been going at it, and now Ron Paul's a Republican again, and he keeps
Right.
flip-flopping. So it's like, when are we going to find the first libertarian president that just stays there? Is it Gary Johnson? Does it start at the grassroots level? I mean, where do you see it going?
I don't know. I know the country is more libertarian now because of Ron Paul. He
Right.
switched the whole thing a little bit, but without having the Republican and Democrat parties be in control, a third party can't really get in control. Like, it's all about the debates, Like, there's not a third party debate.
Right.
So obviously, I don't know.
That's how it is down here.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm big into George Washington, and actually, if you read George Washington's farewell address,
You said you're what? Related to George Washington?
no, I'm really. I wish, man, that'd be dope as shit. But
Every American is related to George Washington.
yeah, no, I'm just really into George Washington. I think he was pretty cool,
Oh, okay.
man. The shit that he was able to accomplish, but like even in his farewell address, man, he warned the country about the two-party system. He was like, "Guys, do not go down this road. You're not gonna like where it takes you." And that, I mean, look where we're at today, dude. 200 years later, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got red versus blue, and they both say the same shit. They all
Crips
wear
and Bloods.
slick suits. Like, none of them have any idea what it's like to actually work. But, just thinking about something that we were talking about when we were talking about Obamacare, I think really at just the main level of Obamacare, if you really think about it, right, the Congress is who writes and passes laws, right? So the Congress passes this law for Obama to implement Obamacare on a certain deadline, and Obama, using executive orders, has just, delayed all these different mandates. Well,
You mean the Almighty King Obama?
yeah, the Almighty King, His Majesty, and
Yeah.
he just, and nobody's even bringing up the constitutional issue about this. That you're like, hey, by the way, dickface, you can't do this. You know what I mean? Like you're.
Yeah.
So I mean, just on that level alone, based on who cares if the bill's shitty or whatever, it's just like, I mean, the shit that's going on as far as subverting the Constitution really bothers me. Now, that being said, how do you feel about the Constitution? I mean, are you big on the Constitution? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I am, because I like anything that's a limit to government is good. So any kind of model that would have government separated from power and arguing with one another is good. So the Constitution really is a limit on government. It's the Second Amendment is the government can't come take your guns. The First Amendment is the government can't come tell you what to say. The Fourth Amendment, the government can't come into your house. So any limit on government is good. So I do like the Constitution. I mean, nothing's perfect, and I gotta say I'm pro Constitution.
Awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I figured you would say that. I just, I had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
ask. So what else do you guys want to get into? What else do you want to talk to Matt about as far as?
Wait, can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Absolutely, fucking
Have you guys heard of Wolfgang Halbig?
What?
I've heard of a wolf.
Wolfgang
No, you haven't heard of
Hausig?
Wolfgang Halbig?
No.
No.
What?
I'll send you his. I'll send you a link
Okay.
of him. I
And,
can't even get into it right now. I'll just send all you guys, or one of you, or a couple of you guys, the link. This is a guy. And maybe we'll talk on the radio again or something. I don't know.
That's cool. Yeah, you could be like we said, you could be our New Jersey correspondent.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking to work with everybody I can, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
So,
So,
like, what besides this show, what are you guys involved in? Like, what do you do?
Well, the show itself is an entertainment type show. We try to make people laugh, but at the same time, be entertaining and informative at the highest level. Speaking of marijuana prohibition, the highest level possible. It's freedom of speech at its finest is our snag line right now. So our show's been through a multitude of different, I guess, schemes. And how we started out was just like rambunctious bullshit, and it would just be
On AM radio.
On AM radio, like trying to get away with shit, like kind of like how South Park did on cable. Like, like we kind of took influence from those dudes, but yeah, we're just basically here to fucking do whatever the fuck we want, and freedom of speech is under attack, and I feel like that's why it's important for us to keep doing what we're doing. A lot of another thing that we do is we promote anybody that's trying to get their start out in pursuing what they're trying to do because that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Awesome, man.
We drink a lot of beer.
Doing good
Yeah,
things.
we love beer.
All right.
Also, our sponsor, I don't know if you heard earlier, we have a sponsor of the show, Ice Cold Teas. They're actually
Good guys.
They got a brand that they
They're a little
support.
gay sometimes.
It's Calvary T-shirts, and
Right.
Calvary does everything made in America. So
Right.
Calvary does
Always.
American-made shirts. I mean, so it's like pretty much Knomsai, Calvary, Ice Cold Teas. Everybody's really on the same page, and we're all